Hello students, you are welcome in the third lecture, lecture number 3 of a chapter of solid state. In the second lecture, we have started with classification of crystalline substances and we have completed the first one, ionic solids. Before that, we have completed isomorphism and polymorphism in the crystalline substances. What are isomorphic substances? Iso means same. Morphous means structure, form. Different substances but having same structure are isomorphic with each other because they are containing the ratio of atoms to be same. And what are polymorphic substances? They are the substances that is only one substance but having different structure. Calcium carbonate is present in the form of calcite, aragonite, we have seen. Carbon is present in the different forms, diamond, graphite. Diamond is hardest form. They are known as allotropes of carbon. Similarly, sulfur present in the different allotropic forms like monoclinic, rhombic sulfur. They are the allotropic forms, they are polymorphic substances. And then we have started with the classification of crystalline substances. The particles, constituent particles in the crystalline substances are either atoms or ions or molecules or atoms of certain metal. Accordingly, crystalline substances are classified as ionic solids or ionic crystals, atomic or covalent solids, then molecular solids and metallic crystals or metallic solids. Out of which the first one, ionic solid, we have completed. They are very hard and brittle, having very high melting point. They are non-conductors in the solid state and conducts electricity whenever dissolved in some proper solvent. And the lattice points are occupied by the constituent particles known as ions. That is charged particles, cations and anions, which are held together by electrostatic force of attraction in between them. Now, let us start with the next point, atomic or covalent solids. Atomic or covalent solids. Silicon, carbon, they form the bonding of this type because in this type of the solids, in this type of crystals, constituent particle is atom. And how atoms are bonded with each other? For example, silicon or carbon. What is valency of carbon? 4. So one carbon can form 4 bonds. Similarly, silicon also can form 4 bonds. So this silicon is linked with 4 another silicon atoms. This is again linked with 4 other silicon atoms. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is linked with again 4 another silicon atoms. So cross-linked structure is obtained. Network structure is obtained. By which type of bond formation here? Covalent bond. What is covalent bond? You know, it is the bond formed due to mutual sharing of electron. This silicon gives one electron for sharing. This silicon gives another electron for sharing. And here is a localized pair of electron. Localized pair of the electron, bonded pair of electron. It is firmly bonded. 3 electrons are absent. and it forms a cross-linked structure, network structure. Therefore the structure is very hard and brittle. In case of ionic solid we have seen hard, but here for atomic or covalent solids I am writing very hard. Why it is very hard and very brittle? Very hard because it is a cross-linked structure like this. Here is a cross-linked structure, network structure is obtained. Silica forms network structure, carbon, diamond forms a network structure, hard structure is obtained, and these are known as covalent solids. In the covalent solids, what about this pair of electron? Is it free? No, it is not free. That is bonded. So it is not free for movement. Therefore covalent solids or atomic solids will not conduct electricity. They are poor conductors of electricity. They are very hard, very brittle. Constituent particles are nothing but the atoms, and atoms are bonded together by the formation of covalent bond, where we know covalent bond is the bond formed by mutual sharing of electrons. So it is about the second one, atomic or covalent solids. Now third, molecular solids. There are the substances like chlorine gas. Suppose we have chlorine gas, we have HCl gas. There they have given the example along with this CO2 gas, H2 gas, O2 gas, H2, CO2, O2. Whenever these are solidified, see they are present in the gaseous phase, they are on cooling liquefied. Gases on cooling undergo condensation, converted to liquid state, they are liquefied, and further when supercooled, those liquids on cooling get converted to solid state, and these are the molecules. Constituent particles are nothing but the molecules. These molecules occupy the lattice points. They occupy the lattice points in a crystal structure. They are known as molecular solids. See, this is a molecule, this is a molecule, this is molecule, this is also molecule, or even O2 is also molecule. Whenever these gases are liquefied on condensation, further they are solidified on solidification, and at that time these molecules forms the constituent particle of a solid known as molecular solids. Now there are different type of bonds in the molecular solids. See, in case of ionic solid, which is the type of bond I have told you, electrostatic force of attraction, ionic bond. In case of atomic or covalent solid, which is the type of bond present, covalent bond is present, formed due to mutual sharing of electron. And in the molecular solids, there are two different bonds present. See, which are those two different type of bonds? First bond, see, if this is the Cl2 molecule, Cl. Can you tell me which is the bond present between two chlorine atoms? Which is the bond present in between two chlorine atoms? Before I am telling you, can you answer yourself? You must know that there is a covalent bond in the two chlorine atoms. In between two chlorine atoms, there is a covalent bond that is formed by mutual sharing of electron. First chlorine has 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This chlorine also has 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This unpaired electron of second chlorine and this unpaired electron of first chlorine, they are mutually shared, so that octet of first chlorine is completed as well as octet of second chlorine is also completed. Octet of first as well as octet of second chlorine is completed, and two chlorine atoms are bonded with each other by covalent bond. So everywhere in all these covalent bond is present. In HCl also there is a covalent bond. In H2 there is covalent bond. In O2, CO2 there is a covalent bond. One bond is covalent bond present between the atoms in a molecule. Molecule is formed by presence of covalent bond. Now how solid is obtained? This is one molecule Cl2, another molecule Cl2, third Cl2, fourth Cl2. How they are bonded together, that we have studied in the last year. In the last year we have seen that in states of matter different type of bonds are there, forces of attraction are there. Dipole forces of attraction, then ion dipole forces of attraction, dipole induced dipole forces of attraction, London forces of attraction or dispersion forces of attraction, then hydrogen bonding. So all those are present depending on the molecule. If we consider the case of HCl, in HCl here is dipole, partial negative, partial positive. Two poles are separated. So dipole interaction is there. In the chlorine, there is dispersion force or London force is present. If we take the example of ammonia, NH3 or sulfur dioxide, NH3, ammonia, there may be hydrogen bonding. In water, there is also intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and we know that hydrogen bonding is weak. These forces are weak. These are poor conductors. So that is there about the molecular crystals, molecular solids. In the molecular solids, constituent particles are molecules. And I have given you the example of these molecules. Whenever gases are liquefied, liquid is solidified, constituent particles are nothing but the molecules which will form the solid. In their atoms, there is a covalent bond formed by sharing of electron in the atoms. And in between the molecules, there is any type of the force of attraction, intermolecular force of attraction, which we have studied at your 11th level. There may be dipole interaction, maybe dipole induced dipole interaction, ion dipole interaction, hydrogen bonding, London forces or dispersion forces, any type of, depending on the type of atoms, any one of the force of attraction is present in between the molecules of molecular solid. And last type of solid now I am telling is about the metallic solids. Now see what is meant by metallic solids. In metallic solids, atoms of metal are the constituent particles. See, atoms of metal are constituent particles in the metallic solid. Atoms of metal are constituent particles. And we know in the metal there is a very strong bond present. That strong bond is known as metallic bond. Now see this carefully, how metallic bond is obtained. Suppose this is a piece of metal. You may have seen the piece of iron metal. You may have seen the piece of magnesium metal. See how the structure is there. in the metal. In metal, very less number of positively charged metal ions are present. Very less number. Only 6 I have showed over here. Less number of positively charged metal ions are there. They are known as metal kernels. They are the metal kernels. And each and every metal ion is equally surrounded from all sides by negatively charged electrons. So, very large number of negatively charged electrons are present. That is known as delocalized electrons are present, or it is also known as sea of electrons. This is the sea of electrons. Sea of electrons. Positively charged metal kernels are present in less number, and negatively charged electrons are present in a very large number. Therefore, it is known as a sea of electron. Now, if we see like this, positive ion, it is equally attracted from all sides by electrons in all directions. Circle. Circle. And from all sides it has a equal attraction. Therefore, this bond is known as non-directional bond. This is a circle which has no direction. See, if this is positive and this is negative, direction is fixed. Or here, direction is fixed for attraction. They are attracted towards each other in only one direction. Only one direction. But here, attraction is present, equally attraction is present from all sides, all directions. Therefore, it is known as non-directional bond. And this metallic bond is very strong bond because of very less number of metal ions known as kernels and very large number of electrons, that is a sea of electrons. These electrons are also present on the surface of metal. These electrons are delocalized electrons and they are free for movement. They are free for movement. So continuously they are moving. And because of that, because of these electrons, metals are showing certain properties. Do you know which are the properties of metal? First property of metal is malleability. It is the malleability. Means whenever metal is heated and hammered, it is converted into thin sheet. Flat sheet is obtained. That is known as malleability. Second property of metal, ductility. Whenever metal is heated and hammered, it is converted into a small wire, small ductile wire known as ductility. Then metallic luster. Third property, metallic luster. What is meant by luster of metal? Whenever piece of metal is placed open to the atmosphere, it shows shining performance. It is known as metallic luster. And thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity are properties of metal. Because of these free electrons, metals conduct electricity. They are known as metallic conductors. So they are the metallic solids in which constituent particles are atoms of a metal. You know the examples. Sodium is metal, iron is metal, potassium is metal. Many of the metallic substances are there. That is there about classification of crystalline solids. Then next part, crystal structure. unit crystal lattice structure. That part we will continue in the next lecture.